Hey guys, my name is Zach Ramirez. I'm the CEO of CallDrive. And I just wanted to take a moment and explain our process from front to back, kind of how we do things here. And we get a lot of questions about compliance and what our process is. So this is kind of a step-by-step walkthrough on our entire, kind of our game plan, how we generate leads and how we do things. Sometimes we make little changes to it, but this is the general gist of it. If you're ever wondering how we generate our leads, this is it. So CallDrive's commitment to compliance, right? So this is a step-by-step guide for our sales team so we can address compliance inquiries with confidence and clarity, right? We just make sure all your questions are answered, right? So here at CallDrive, our compliance, it's not just a policy, it is the entire bedrock of everything that we do, right? We understand, in the world of lead generation, the trust, the transparency is paramount. Obviously, there's a lot of TCPA litigators out there. There's a lot of problems that can occur. In our younger years, starting this company years and years ago, we've walked into a couple and we've learned our lessons and taken our licks, just like many of you have. And this is kind of how we ensure that doesn't happen, right? So let's go ahead and let's talk about our step-by-step process, literally from how we get our data to what we do. So the very first step we do is we source high-intent form-fill leads from our expansive network of trusted publishers. We currently have about 22, 23 publishers that own anywhere between 1 to 200 websites, and they're for every vertical you can imagine. Debt relief, business loans, roofing, solar, you name it, we got it, right? And what we do is we essentially purchase those form fills either in real time or slightly aged, and we make sure that they include either a TrustedForm or a Jornaya token, right? So this is, in case you don't know what that is third-party proof of consent. Meaning if somebody were to say, you called me, I'm on the do not call list, whatever, we have 100% ironclad proof that we have their permission to dial, right? No questions asked. In addition, we actually capture their IP address. And lastly, we get a digital signature and a video of them filling out the form. So if anybody were to say, you guys called me, I didn't give you permission, we can go, BS. Not only do we have a Jornaya token, but we have your IP address and we have a video of you filling out the form. So that's the first thing. That's how we acquire our data, right? Now, we don't just buy data and then dial it. We don't just buy data and then market to it, because we've learned that some data doesn't convert that well. Some converts much better. So the next step we do is we do AI-powered lead scoring and segmentation. For example, when a lead gets verified, it goes into our proprietary scoring system. We look at thousands and thousands and probably around 50,000 closed transactions in different verticals, different industries, and our machine learning will tell us, based on this data that we just bought, let's say we buy a list of 1 million records, right? It'll tell us which data is the most likely to convert for debt settlement, for tax relief, for business loans, or whatever vertical, roofing, solar, whatever the vertical is, right? And so before we just market to that 1 million records that we have opt-ins for, we're gonna rank it and we're gonna identify who we should market to, and also, just as important, who we should not market to, right? Because why waste anybody's marketing budget? Right? And so the way we do it is we look at the historical conversion performance. We're going to match that with your vertical, and there's certain indicators of high intent, right? We look at every factor imaginable, all the way from their gender, their age range, whether they have children, whether they're a homeowner, their credit score. We look at not thousands, but probably around 150 different data points that we use our machine learning to tell us who to market to and who not to. Okay, so after we acquire the data up here, and then we score the data and determine who to market to for which vertical, then we put it into an omni-channel lead nurturing system. Omni, it just means every, right? Or basically every type of marketing that we can utilize. So a verified and scored lead then goes through a multi-touch omni-channel marketing strategy. Some of you guys might have used ClickFunnels or something like that for this sort of thing. Pretty much what we do is we attack that lead because we have legal permission to do so. We attack them with SMS and email. So they might get a weekly text message going, hey, you filled out a form on this website. Are you still interested in debt settlement? Are you still interested in getting a new roof for your house? We send them an email as well. We use an AI voice bot, a proprietary AI voice telemarketing bot that we build to call them and qualify them and live transfer them. We also have a large telemarketing team. We currently have about 175 agents. Every week it goes up and goes down a little because, as you know, dealing with large call centers, there's a lot of turn and burn, unfortunately. But we pretty much market to it with SMS and email, with AI telemarketing, with human being telemarketing or traditional telemarketing. We use voicemail drops as part of our drip sequence. And then we, lastly, we remarket to the data, Google Display Network and dozens of other similar things, where the customer can have an option to click to call back in. So that way we're basically, once we have that record and we determine who we should market to, we're just attacking them every which way, right? I'm talking, we hit them with everything under the sun, right? Lastly, once that lead actually comes into our system, and this is the beautiful part, this is where the buyers kind of come in, where our network of buyers comes in, we actually don't charge you a fixed cost per call. You're allowed to pay whatever you want to us. You could pay as little as $20 for a phone call, or $1,000, or $25, or $75. Whatever you want to pay is what you're going to pay, because our system is built on a real-time bidding system, RTB system for those of you in the pay-per-call industry, but essentially it's an auction, right? So we have the CallHub, which is our proprietary software we built. It's a competitor to Ringba, competitor to Retriever. Wink, wink, if you want to use it, we can rent it out to you as well. But the CallHub auction and routing system basically means when one of those phone calls finally comes in, it goes into our system. Let's say it was a debt settlement lead. It comes in, and whichever one of our buyers, let's say we have 15 buyers buying debt settlement calls, whichever one of our buyers is willing to bid the most for that call will get the next call in real time. Again, it's just like Google pay-per-click or Meta pay-per-click. It's just pay-per-call. You literally bid whatever you're willing to pay for that call. Now, if you feel like you're getting a ton of calls, you could even lower your bid and try to pay less, but then you'll get less calls, right? Again, it's a real-time bidding system, so you're gonna have to be cautious and make sure that you pay what you believe the calls are worth, right? So the way it works is you set your target bid. Our algorithm is gonna calculate our earnings per call through our active buyers, and then the inbound call will get instantly routed to whichever buyer is available that has the highest earnings per call for us, right? And this creates a dynamic marketplace for high intent inbound calls. This is essentially how you can go, and we literally say you pay whatever you want. Whatever you're willing to pay for the call is what you get. After you're able to get the, after you basically pay whatever you want to pay for those calls and go through the auction-based system, then we set you up. Every buyer gets their own unique login where you get to completely control what happens. For example, you're allowed to control your schedule. You can set up the calls to start at 7 a.m. and they run until 12 p.m., but then you take a lunch break from 12 to 1, and then after, when you come back from lunch, we can have the concurrent calls cut in half. If you want to have a slower second half of the day, maybe you want to front load your marketing. It's totally customizable. It's up to whatever you want to do, right? So you can set whatever daily call caps you want. You can set hours of operation. You can set break times. You can just click a button and turn the calls off, and you don't pay for anything because obviously it's off. You can control your location. If you want to use different states, if you want to use different exclusion filters, if you want to say, I don't want to take any calls from Texas, I don't want to take any calls from Florida, whatever, no problem. Obviously, if you're like a roofer or something, you obviously only want a specific state or two, right? And then lastly, you get to control your budget completely. Not only do you get to control what you're willing to pay per call, but you can control your daily, your hourly, your weekly budget. It's all with the push of a button. You have complete control to route this however you want, right? And the best part about it is there's no minimum orders, right? You don't have to come in and drop $5,000. You don't have to come in and drop 50 grand, 100 grand, nothing like that. It's a simple pay-as-you-go system, right? So you basically load your credits. Let's say you loaded $200 of credits, right? And you wanted to pay 20 bucks a call. Then once you get those 10 calls, your credits are done, the calls will stop, and then we'll ask you how much more do you want to load. And you just pay as you go. It's designed for maximum simplicity. There's no long-term contracts locking you into this. There's no hidden fees or subscription fees, nothing like that. You basically just fund your account however much credits you want. You pay whatever you want to pay for these calls, and we rock and roll and keep the phones ringing. Anyways, my name's Zach. I'm the CEO of CallDrive. I'd love to earn your business. Give us a call. Jump on the phone with us. One of my salespeople will take great care of you. We can customize the campaign however you want. And I promise we're going to knock it out of the park for you.